Happy New Day, everyone. Thank you for tuning in and watching. I've been meaning to do this video for a few days now, but this time just opened up and I feel the energy to do it. This video is part 2 to the last video I did, which I think I titled I'm angry and frustrated from people wasting my time and energy. I believe that's the title. You all know that when I put out these videos, it's out there and I forget. But it wasn't too long ago, so I do remember a little bit of what I said. But basically, just to recap, I spoke on how my personal experiences in feeling that I was a victim at certain points in my life of other people wasting my time and energy. I've since learned that that wasn't the case. I've been able to see that my own lack of awareness did not allow me to make decisions correctly when it came to engaging with people who were not in harmony with me. And from the last video, I received some emails and also had some conversations with people who resonated with the video, but at the same time, they were able to acknowledge that it is difficult to feel that other people are not wasting their time. And of course, for me, it's taken me time to get to certain levels of awareness, but it's all based on me wanting to remove myself from anything that deals with someone else having power over me. So me being a victim of someone else's actions or whatever, I've been in the mindset, and also the way that I feel inside no longer resonates with being in that position to where I'm pointing the finger and blaming someone else for me not feeling good within myself. And doesn't happen overnight. So I'm just simply sharing my journey and the different transitions that I can recognize that I'm making in my levels of consciousness as I become a better version of myself in each moment. At least I feel that I am becoming a better version of myself as time moves along. So for the people that emailed me and for the people that I had personal conversations with since the last video, this video is to address the main focus of that particular topic of wasting your time and energy, but feeling like other people are wasting your time and energy. And a lot of people have said that they experience the most anger and frustration when they are trying to help people, mainly family and friends, people that they have close relationships to. And they give good advice, they give helpful information, they're constantly being a listening ear to people. And whatever energy and time they put into trying to help the people that they care about, majority of the times it's rejected. And people don't listen to them. People don't follow their advice or instructions or anything that deals with what they put into that person to assist them with their problems. And I've experienced that a lot. And the first thing that I had to recognize was that I was a starting point within any situation to where I felt rejected, or to where there was some type of backlash to the energy and time that I put in, or there was nothing at all. There was no reciprocation, no type of return. It just did not feel good in the end after me putting out my time and energy. And in me seeing myself as a starting point, I then recognized that whenever you are engaging with another person, there is a decision that is made to engage, whether you're aware of it or not. If you're walking down the street and someone strikes up a conversation with you, there's a decision that's made when it comes to if you respond and engage in conversation or if you ignore them and keep walking. A lot of times things happen so quickly to where we don't really slow down what is actually taking place to see it as, oh, I made a decision to move forward in that, but ultimately that's what's happening. And most people that I connect with are either familiar with human design, or they've learned about it through me, or there's something that is making them gravitate towards human design, which is a tool of self-empowerment. And when it comes to alleviating the frustration and anger that you feel when your time and energy is wasted, a lot of times it's due to the fact that you aren't making decisions correctly for yourself. And I'll just speak on what I know to be true for me. In using human design terminology, my type is what's called a manifesting generator. So for all of the manifesting generators out there, all of the generators out there, whether you know this or not, you have a strategy of response. So generators and manifesting generators usually get rejection and get a lot of resistance when they try to initiate something that is not in response to something. So my whole life has proven that to be true for me, and the many other generators and manifesting generators that I've met, it's proven to be true for them. So there's clearly some truth to that particular aspect of human design. Manifesting generators and generators, our strategy is to respond. Whenever I have initiated, it didn't work out. There was some conflict, some friction, some resistance. There was something that in the end, it didn't feel good. And overall, my time and my energy was wasted. And it was not the fault of the other person. It was my lack of awareness about how I was supposed to operate, which was based on response. So a lot of people who have shared with me the resistance and the rejection that they get when they try to help people, I ask them, were you asked for your help? Did the person ask you for advice? And in some cases, yes, but the majority of the cases, no, they were not asked for their opinion, for their 2 cents, for their advice, for their help. They were not asked. The generator or the manifesting generator was not asked. The projectors have a strategy of being invited, recognized by the other, and then being invited to give some type of direction or some type of guidance and help. For the projectors, were you invited? They say no. So if you're not invited, if you're not recognized and invited into a conversation or into a situation to help someone, you're going to get resistance and you're going to get rejection. So I've spoke about this in the past as far as how it feels to the person that you're trying to help. If you see that someone needs help and they haven't asked you, then naturally your perspective of them is, it has to be in the along the lines of judgment, because however you're seeing them is from your own perspective. And I feel that as individuals, we all have limited perspectives because we're seeing things from our own design and from our own ways of thinking and conditioning. So if I see another person and my perspective, my limited perspective tells me that they need assistance or they need help and they're not asking for it, I'm naturally judging them. And it doesn't mean that it's in a negative way, but for that person, it may be invasive if I project how I feel about them on them. If I feel that they need help and I attempt to help them or I attempt to give them advice, and in their world, there's nothing wrong and they don't see themselves as needing help, then me coming in and trying to change up how they have their reality set up is like a home invasion. And I've said that before. It feels to the other like a home invasion. Just like I'm sitting here in my house. If somebody kicks my door in, that's not going to feel good for me. I'm going to automatically turn into a completely different person that is not calm and that is feeling like I need to protect myself and all of the things that come with having your door kicked in. It's the same thing with people's consciousness. Their consciousness, their level of consciousness and awareness is their reality. And when you impose your level of consciousness or whatever you feel should be changed within their reality on them, they're going to react as if you've just broken into their house. So it's really something to keep in mind when you're someone who wants to be of assistance to others, you want to help others, and you may have a lot of great information to give. You may have a lot of experiences to share that you know can help someone be a better version of themselves. But if you are not following what's correct for you and you're not being patient and waiting for that invite or waiting for that opening within the interaction for you to share whatever information that you have to help the other person, then you're going to find yourself spending a lot of time and energy in ways that you don't feel the return. You don't feel good after you've given that time and energy to the next person because it wasn't given based on that person being open to receive it. You pretty much flushed it down the toilet, or you gave all of your energy to a brick wall that in the end for me, I go off of how stupid do I feel after I've just put this time and energy into a situation. And that lets me know, outside of the extreme resistance and tightness that I feel in my body, the final feeling of stupidity for me lets me know that, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. And then I check that off on the list as another mistake, another failure, but I do my best to gain wisdom from my mistakes and from finding out the things that don't work for me. So there are a lot of people out there who are specifically designed to share information, to teach others, to spread the word. about things that they feel are helpful to humanity. But if you're constantly frustrated and angry because your energy and your information is going to areas to where it's not received, then all of the people that do need you and want to hear what you have to say and want to be helped, you have a harder time getting to those people because you're exhausting yourself and you're exerting your energy in ways that don't replenish you as the individual. And that leaves you pretty much tapped out with your energy, and you don't have anything to give to the people who could actually use it and want it. So that's been a huge lesson for me. And I found that in the last couple of years, but really like in this last year, I've been more vocal and more straightforward with people one-on-one about where I'm at currently and how I'm feeling within my body, as far as, do I have the energy for you? Do I have the energy to provide to you based on what you may be asking me for? Or I tell people that may still see me as an older version of myself, I'm more vocal in giving them the update on who I am now and letting them know that however I was operating a year or a few years ago, I've had to refine a lot of my ways and the way in which I go about utilizing my time and energy. And now it's important that, for me, that I only put my energy and my time towards people that are actually requesting me, because in me just naturally following my body and listening to my body and how it feels and the indications that it gives me, there's over time, what I've noticed is that there's just a natural operation of intelligence that goes on, and it is becoming more and more just free flowing, to where there's less thought involved in how I'm moving. I'm just allowing my body to do what it does in each moment. And in doing that, I've noticed that I had to drink some water. But I was saying that in just allowing my body to do what it does, I've noticed that it spends less time, like in situations where I'm interacting with others or conversing with others, I spend less time taking on energy that I may not want to. So I'm more direct, and I definitely allow the interaction to organically flow, but I get more to the point more quickly. I've always been pretty direct, but I really get to the point after allowing other people to speak or to kind of set the tone for whatever the energy exchange is. And from there, I respond. So that's a big thing for me now. It's like I make sure that I'm responding. I'm not initiating or offering anything. I'm responding to what someone wants from me. And then from there, I listen to how my body feels. And sometimes I may be able to engage in something for a long period of time. Other times it may be for a short period of time, because sometimes your body will give you an indication that it does want to engage in something, and that may be for the purpose of you finding out soon after that you shouldn't be engaging in it. And there may be a lesson in that short period of time for you to learn for something later in life. So I've had many different experiences that were short term and some that were long term, but mostly a lot of short term experiences to help me go through the things that just don't fit the way in which my energy flows. And it's not easy, and it is a process, because when you're getting into alignment for the first time, in, for me, 20 something years of not really being in alignment, then a lot of things have to change. A lot of habits that you've created in the past, a lot of the conditioning, a lot of things have to start to break down and fall apart with inside of you, in order for you to get into true alignment with yourself, so that you can respond more efficiently and effectively to other people. Whereas before, I can say that for me, I was always letting the mental chatter mix in with what my body was feeling. So my body may have been tense and in resistance, and giving me a clear indication to disconnect from something. But in listening to the mind, because I wasn't in alignment, that just mixed all in, and then eventually just overrode the intelligence of my body, to where my mind is now driving me. My body's in resistance the whole time. I can feel that something's not right, but my mind is like, keep going, it's going to be okay. And then, like, you know, it crashes in the end. And having a lifetime of situations like that, that doesn't get corrected overnight. So it takes time. And I've also noticed that I am very vocal about my wasting time and energy. So I tell people directly, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste your energy, and vice versa. I don't want you to waste my time or, you know, my energy. But ultimately, I know that in me saying this up front, I'm letting the other person know that I am totally okay with taking responsibility for my actions and my role within this interaction. But I'm setting my boundaries, which I never did. Even just a couple of years ago, I didn't have strong boundaries yet. Now I can't ignore myself. Like, I can't ignore my body like how I did before. So if somebody says something, I'll pay attention to, like, the little subtle movements or the pauses and hesitations that I have. And if I miss that, like, if I allow myself to ignore it, then I can get away from that so quickly and end up so far away from that in the moment indication that let me know, wait, either no, wait a minute, ask some more questions, you know, something that is like telling you to pause before you keep going. And in me being a splenic individual, being a moment-to-moment individual, with the spleen, the spleen only speaks once. Luckily, my inner authority is my sacral. So I constantly get the sacral responses, which can change moment to moment, but having that splenic authority as well as a secondary authority for me, once you miss that splenic information, it only speaks one time. So I have been getting much better much better at listening to my splenic secondary authority to make sure that I don't get too far ahead of myself in situations, because there are situations to where in the moment my body is like, no, I don't have the energy for that. But being moment to moment, the next moment could be correct for me to engage in something that, wasn't correct the previous moment. So everyone is different. Not everyone is sacral authority. Not everyone is splenic authority. Everyone is different. And that's the beauty of knowing your human design, knowing how you are genetically wired, because in you knowing that, then you can start to actually operate according to what is correct for you, as opposed to being hijacked by others and having your decision-making process altered and interfered with by the way other people are designed to operate. There are people who I would never tell them to make decisions the way I make decisions, because they're not designed for that. So a decision that's correct for me, according to the way I'm wired, is completely wrong for the next person. So in just going back to me being a responder, that's how my platform has also evolved, because I have collected questions, I have collected complaints, I have collected many different situations, and even though I could respond right away, I choose to allow myself time, and I choose to look at the different topics that are presented to me, the different questions that are presented to me, and see which ones stand out the most, which ones have the majority of people asking the same thing or inquiring about the same topic. And that lets me know, I listen to how my body feels, and that lets me know that, okay, it seems to be an influx of people wanting to know about this particular topic, so I'll respond to this particular topic. And then whenever a spontaneous moment comes to where something comes up, I can look at the many questions and many emails and all of that, and have just a huge database of things to respond to when I feel the energy is correct within me to respond. So the human design and knowing your blueprint, knowing your genetic wiring, is very helpful in you learning how to minimize wasting your time and energy, and also take responsibility for the situations that you find yourself in and the reality that you see yourself creating moment to moment, because it's all stemming from you. It's all coming from your configuration. Everything that you see, every connection that you make, the way people perceive you, it's still all coming from that configuration. So it's something that's practical. It's something that is available to everyone, and you don't have to be a huge researcher or investigator. You don't have to get deep into human design. You can know the basics, which is your strategy, your inner authority, your type, and that will help you to just be aware of how you're navigating the people that you're engaging with, learning how to listen to your body and make correct decisions for yourself, be your own authority, not allow others to pull you in directions that could be detrimental to your health and even your life. It's just so many things that that you can benefit from when it comes to knowing your design. And going back to the topic of this particular video, it helps you to not waste your time and energy, and to have discernment on people that may be in your reality or may be coming into your reality, who can end up engaging with you in ways to where in the end you feel that your time and energy has been wasted. So that is I think that's it. I think that's all I got for this part 2. Got my trusty BlackBerry. I'm going to use this thing until it just doesn't work anymore. Yep, that's it. So thank you all for tuning in and watching. If you have any questions or concerns or topics that you would like me to respond to, I will add it to the database that I have already. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever respond to all of the questions and topics that I've been given already. I don't know. But what I do know is that I will do my best in continuing to be a better version of myself and listen to my inner guidance, listen to my body, and give you all information and experiences that I feel can be helpful to maybe not everybody, but at least some of you all. So again, thank you all for tuning in and watching. Free your mind to shine. Until next time.